My name is Brittney, and I want to welcome you to Pain and Pleasure because I've never had a circle like this. So this is really, really, really important to me.
Oh, you're gonna forever be going through this.
It's the pleasure part. I know it's the
But
pleasure.
pain can be pleasurable.
I'm discouraged without pain because I am so much more than that.
Pain and pleasure was birthed from my pain. Sometimes when we're going through something traumatic, we don't know who to talk to. We don't know who to turn, where to turn. We're just broken. We're lost, and we're filling voids. It is a platform designed to start the healing process in your pain. You do not have the right to be silent in your pain. It only leads to a path of destruction. At the age of 14, sexually assaulted, broken, bitter, feeling like the world owed me everything. But in reality, the world didn't owe me anything. I had to learn how to heal on my own. I had to face the woman in the mirror on my own. You don't have to do that. That's what Pain and Pleasure is for. It's a platform for you to build a better you. One conversation at a time, one topic at a time, one day at a time. What's understood does not have to be explained. Let's create some pleasure from that pain. So I want to welcome you. I have an amazing panel of guests. These are my closest, dearest friends who you all could relate to. I mean, because sometimes the person that you relate to looks just like you. So here we are together as women, ready to share our pain with you and share our story with you. Let's heal together. Again, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you click the link. Make sure you subscribe. And also follow me on all social media platforms. Instagram, Pain and Pleasure. Facebook, Pain and Pleasure. Let's go. All right, I would like to introduce one of my closest friends, my dearest friends, my spiritual sister. Y'all, this lady come over here and anoint my whole house when I'm suffering from depression, anxiety, when I feel like I'm at my last point in life. And we all get there. Them kids get on your nerves. That job get on your nerves. So it's always good to have a person that you can run to or cry on that's going to show up for you. This is my closest, dearest sister friend. Her name is Bridget McLean. And I'm going to let her introduce herself. Then we're going to pop a question or two. And we'll go from there.
Hi everyone, I am so honored to be here with my sister Brittney. I don't know, I'm a wife, a mother. I love family, I love friends. My friends are my family. I'm really a homebody.
Yeah. I get her out the house every now and then.
I'm really a homebody. I mean, I just love to be with my family, and I mean, I work hard to build a beautiful home, so I enjoy it, and
Yeah.
that's about it. It's not much to it. I go to work, I come home, I cook, I clean. I'm a wife, I'm a mom,
And sister
but
girl,
I love it. I love it all.
no lies told. All right, so sister girl, you're gonna have to pick one of these pretty blue notes. It has a question on it. So pick one.
All right. Do I have to read it?
You do have to read the question and then put it back.
Okay. Okay. This question says, is self-love just as important to men as it is to women? Should it be? I think that's a great question. I think that self-love is important for everyone, especially men. We all have roles. We are all women, we're all sisters, we're all friends. Some of us are wives, and so even with men, especially with African American men or men of color, they already have enough on their shoulders. Men have enough as far as, they're supposed to be the provider, the priest, the protector, the money maker. They have a lot of things on their plate too, and self-love is just as important for them as it is for women. It's important for everyone. So everyone should be able to build their own identity outside of the roles that they play. So who is Brittney outside of
a wife,
Kenya's mom, and or Bridget's friend? You know, so if you have a male in your life, he has his own, or should have his own identity as well. There's nothing wrong with hanging out with friends or finding your own interests outside of the different roles that we play in life. You know, it's important to find who we are as individuals, and it's different for everyone.
So let me ask you a question. Have you ever been in a situation, I'm sure before you was married, where you met a man that was broken and then you dated a man that was not broken? Was there a difference? When I say broken, I mean he didn't really have that self-love for himself. He was still trying to figure it out, still trying to find himself. So was there a difference in those two type of men?
That's a great question. So my history is that I had one boyfriend, a high school sweetheart that I was with for 8 years, and then we were together and I met my husband and we dated, and he knew I had a boyfriend. I told my boyfriend I got a friend, and then my husband now was like, I don't care if you got a man, you know, I don't care, but then he made me choose. So I've only experienced that with 2 people, right? So it's different. I can't say, because we were all young.
Okay.
We were all, yes, that guy, he had some things going on, but I can't really say who he was then because we were so young. That was like high school, young adult type thing. But I would definitely say the reason why I chose my husband when he was like, I'm tired of this, you got to make a decision, is because he was mature. He was more mature. He dated me. He came at a specific time. You know what I'm saying? He didn't just pull up. He came at a time, and
that's important.
He was ready, and you know, and at first he didn't care, but he was like, I ain't trying to show you no more. So I chose him because he was mature, and he does have some things, but we dated for a while before we got married, and we're still going through, like, life is learning lessons. So you're gonna forever be going through things. You're gonna you should be forever going through things, because you should be able to grow through things as well. And so marrying young, and now I'm 30 something. I'm closer to 40 than I am 30. I'm closer to 40. So, and I'm married in my young 20s. So I wasn't the same person I am today. He wasn't the same person that he is today. And we're still growing. So that's a good question, but
you really can't give us the
different and it's different for everyone. Everyone's situation is different. But those two, I can't even compare the two, because even though I was with that first guy for 8 years, I don't even think that was love. Like, I don't, you know, like knowing what true love is now, like that was
play.
That was playing, right? That was young and dumb and running around fighting and busting out windows. But that's another place. That's another.
The bell coming off, y'all.
Look, that was before I was saved.
All right, so my next question is, when you hear pain and pleasure, what's the first thing come to your mind? Don't think about it. Say whatever comes to you.
Tank.
Yes, baby, because but I don't know, he kind of, you know, confused.
Just the music, baby.
Okay.
Just music. No, but for real, pain and pleasure, what I think about pain and pleasure is that you have to go through both. Life is good and bad. It's ups and downs. It's highs and lows. And like I said before, we go through things to grow through things, and the pain build us as we will become as people. And I think that we have to know what that feels like in order to know what pleasure is when we have pleasure.
Well said, my girl.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here. You know it means the world. For you being here. I love you so much. And bye. So now we have my lovely cousin. Her name is Brittney.
You got some lotion. Sorry.
Okay.
Can I have some lotion?
Don't cut that out. Don't cut that out.
I swear I'll be trying to be funny, man. Y'all gonna make me be a comedian. I know she gonna be laughing.
No, you already did your thing.
We call her ladies.
Girl.
Alright, so now we have my lovely cousin. Her name is BrittneyUSLL. She's a loctician. She does natural hair. So if you need your hair done natural now, don't come to her with the lace fronts. She's not doing it. And she can rap. I don't know if she wanted me to say that, but she can rap. But she's an amazing person, beautiful spirit. She can read you as soon as you hit the door. So she does have a gift. So I just want her to introduce herself, and we're going to go from there.
Let me say the old Brittney could rap. I'm Brittney Fowler. I'm her cousin.
Yes.
Our grandmothers are sisters,
sure.
to let people know how we're cousins. And I'm a natural hairstylist, and I'm also a barber now. I specialize in locks and just taking care of healthy natural hair. And I'm a single mother of 2.
Beautiful kids.
And I am an entrepreneur.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the magic. Pull a card, Mama. And read your card out loud.
How was your quarantine? And what lesson did you learn?
You will get that one.
Go, God. Okay, my quarantine was lovely.
Okay.
Because I lost my dad in February. And I honestly believe it was due to the COVID, but you know, who knows? He had sarcoidosis and diabetes. So I kind of needed that break.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. COVID hit 30 days after my dad passed, and I kept my business going for a minute, and then of course when they said shut down, I shut down. So I shut down. I enjoyed my children, but what I did learn while I was under the COVID break or whatever is to pay more attention to what I wanted. To really, like at the beginning of the year, my church did this thing, and it was called Focus. And when COVID hit, I kind of almost forgot to focus. So it kind of helped me retrain my brain, sit down and realize what was really going on around me. You know, realizing how much work I put into my job and not into my family. It made me start following the golden rule. You know, God, family, then job. And then my job began to show up and show out when it was time to come back. You know, COVID was a bad thing, but it was also like a eye opener. It made you more intentional on getting things done.
For sure.
You know, so
okay.
it was cool, and I'm enjoying it, and I wish we can go in again, but not under bad circumstances. Because, you know, I actually got my clients under control, because they was calling me, and I felt like I was trying to answer everybody at one time, and I was forgetting about what was really important, trying to grind and make sure I was providing for the 2 that mean the most to me.
And that's a good point, because as a single mother, it's so easy to push kids to the side because you have to provide. Provide. You know, so yeah, COVID actually did the same for me as well. I got to know my kids on a totally different level than I did before. We bonded more. We had family night. We brought love back to the center of the house. So I can relate to that too.
Yeah.
So the next question. First thing you think of, pain and pleasure. What comes to your mind?
Well, you know, from that last kiss, that's the first thing, which shouldn't come to my mind.
It's the pleasure part.
Okay,
I know it's the
but
pleasure
pain
part.
can be pleasurable.
It can.
It can be pleasure.
It can.
You know, just like COVID was pain, but it came through with some
But it
pleasure
burnt
at
some
the end,
gems.
because
Yeah.
my business actually shut down. I had to realize, like, I lost my little salon. It was gone, boom, overnight. And then I had to make a decision, like, what I'm going to do. But the decision that I made, it brought pleasure to my life in all types of aspects, like everywhere.
And you're speaking now in front of young girls, and tell us a little bit about that experience you just had.
My church has this group called Kyle. It's to help young girls, basically teaching them how to be women. And me and my first lady always talk about me kind of teaching people about natural hair, because I do know how to grow natural hair, and I try to encourage women to love their hair, because this is, my slogan is be blessed, be natural, your hair is your crown. And God made us with a crown naturally. He gave us our hair as a covering, and a covering is just like a crown. And in the word it says it's like fine gold. Crowns are gold. So you naturally got a crown, so why not own up to it? It's something to stand out. It's unique. Ain't nobody else gonna have that pattern you got. I don't care how many patterns it is. Nobody gonna have the same. We'll never have the same curl pattern. So love who you are. And this is like the number one thing with women, our hair.
That's true.
So that experience is good, and plus it push, I got a nonprofit that I want to go towards for the youth.
Okay.
I want a community center eventually. I don't really want to do hair forever. I want this to be my job, to be able to pour back into the community. So that little speech with the girls kind of pushed me more towards planning for that.
Okay.
But I know the only way I'm going to get to people is through my job, my chair. My throne.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
It's a lot of conversations that get thrown around when you're in a salon.
In the barbershop, period.
Yeah.
Barbershop, hair salon, people sit in my chair, they cry. It be males, like you said.
Oh, wow.
Self-love with the men. You be surprised. Sister,
wow.
They come tell me, people trust you. It's kind of like the hair therapy.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for being here.
Well, thank you, boo.
I appreciate you.
Too.
All right, we got my sister friend, Delita. Me and Delita crossed paths at church. Delita's very, very quiet, but she watches everything. And we actually found out that we shared some of the similar stories together, so we immediately bonded. We can go months without talking to each other and pick up right where we left off. And to me, I think those type of friends are important. That doesn't hold time over your head. Because we're mothers, we're wives, fiancés. I mean, we wear so many hats, as my friend Bridget was talking about. So I want to introduce you to the sweetest person in the world, Delita.
Hello, I am Delita Patterson. I am a wife. Been with my husband. We've been together since 2001. We just had our 15-year anniversary in June.
15 years, baby. Go!
2 beautiful children,
yes.
16-year-old and a 14-year-old. Much like Bridget, to go home, go to work, take my kids wherever they need to go. My kids is basically who I live for. My kids and my husband. So
yeah,
that's all I do.
Big facts, big facts. Okay, lovely. Let's pull a rabbit out the hat.
It's a good rabbit. What does self-love look like to you? So with me...
So before you answer, let me give a little more detail. How do you handle yourself with self-love? There's times in our lives where we have to love ourselves. It's stressful being a mom, a wife. Like you said, you live for your kids and your husband. But what exactly does Delita do for Delita?
For me, I am just now learning what self-love is. Much like Brittney, I was sexually assaulted when I was 5 or 6 years old. So carrying that around, I suppressed. So what I started doing was being a people pleaser. I would do what everybody else wanted me to do of them. I would neglect myself. And then I just felt empty. Like, what am I doing? I'm not happy. Yes, these people are happy, but why am I not happy? So I had to take a step back and figure out what was the lying issue. So now for me, I am learning self-love and I'm growing into self-love. And I look at myself and I used to feel like I was ugly, disgusting, fat. But now I look at myself and I see beauty and I embrace each and every one of my scars on the inside and out, because I've been through so much. And it's like people tore me down and told me things that I would and would not be. But
it's okay.
I stopped listening to them. And I have to push those words of discouragement out my head, because I am so much more than that. So I am growing to love myself. Self-love to me is waking up in the morning and putting me first sometimes. Some people may say it's selfish, but it's not. You have to do what's best for you. You have to love yourself. in order for that love to pour into your spouse or your children, because if you don't, your spouse and your children are affected, and I know that personally. So I'm loving myself more. I'm looking at myself in a different light. I'm not looking at what happened to me as a curse. I'm learning to look at what happened to me as a blessing in disguise. So self-love to me, it took some time, but I'm getting there. I'm learning.
And we just gonna love on you then, baby. Yes, friends. Yes. First of all, I didn't know you was gonna go that deep. But I'm glad that you did. Because that's one of the purposes of Pain and Pleasure, to transform that victim mindset to a growth mindset. You know, because I was in your shoes and I know what that feels like. And it's not a good feeling not to love yourself. You know, but we can do some stuff. Let's go get some massages. You know, let's have girls night. We can do some stuff. I'm all about the self-love. People who truly know me, and I didn't think I was going to say this on camera, but I'm real and I'm human. Some days you have to wake up and be like, F them kids. Like, for real. You have to wake up and say, I'm not doing nothing for you today. Today's going to be about me. If I want to sit around the house in my pajamas all day and watch TV, that's self-love. You know, so we're going to build you up. I got you, boo. I got you. And I'm glad that you're here and that you opened up, because I know some of you feel the same way. I know you do. Okay. So, now we got that out the way. My next question, girl, what you think about Pain and Pleasure?
Well, initially I thought the same, because your cousin Brittney said a little pain equals a little pleasure in the end. But once I learned of what it really was, it is, like you said, you have to go through stuff to get through stuff. So yes, when I was younger, I had a bad experience, but me getting older, I'm reaping the benefits of, say, okay, that happened, now we're going to flip it and see what's going to come out better. So,
yeah.
yes.
You got to use that assault as a student, you know?
It's a learning process, and I'm slowly getting there, but I like the person I'm becoming and growing into.
And I see you glowing. Like, when I go on your Facebook page, I see a different Aletha. I see you out more. You're not so much in the house. So, I'm happy for you.
Thank you, and I appreciate you.
Ah, yay. Okay. Thank you, love.
Thank you.
All right. St. Kenneth.
This is
So good.
I got my crazy cousin Santana here. But this is my backbone. This girl has really showed me my potential, poured into me, and been there for me regardless of what I've done in life. You know, they say blood make you family, but it's bigger than that with us. It's deeper than that with us. So I want to introduce my cousin Santana.
Hey.
Hi. I love. Introduce yourself. Who are you?
I'm Santana.
Okay.
I have an 11-year-old. I am an entrepreneur. I also have a nonprofit for inner city girls. So, yeah, that's what I got going on.
Yes, honey. Yes. Okay. So, you ready for this question?
Oh, Lord.
Wait, hold on.
You cheating.
I am cheating, but I want to make sure you don't get the same question. I think I threw delete this out. Oh, no, this for you. So let's replay this. Oh, let me put it back there. Just make sure you pick that.
But you prayed over these. It's right. You all in my business. What goals are you working on? What help do you need? I'm working on being an entrepreneur. I'm working on. I'm sorry. I need to spit it out. Cut.
Right, you can-
You've been wanting to do that your whole life. It's so crazy.
Just throw it in.
Now you keep it going.
Alright.
You don't want me to refold this off of like.
I mean,
Read the question again.
we'll cut that out.
Read the question again.
Okay, so what goals are you working on? What help do you need? Okay, so I am working on a better me. It's like when I turned 30, it's like a light bulb came on about like what I was gonna put up with, what I'm not gonna put up with, what kind of parent I want to be, what kind of future wife I want to be, what kind of cousin, sister, whatever. I just want to be a better me.
Okay.
Help, support.
Okay.
If you got some finances, that too.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. Okay. I think we all hit that mark in our life where the light bulb goes off, where we want to start working on growth. So I know you're working on a business, and I know you need support, financial support. How are you doing with transforming your mind from transforming from manufacturer work to entrepreneur? How are you holding up with that?
Who said I was holding up?
You look good.
It can be hard because you're trying to be a parent, you're trying to work, you're trying to build a business, you're trying to build a brand. It can be hard, but it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it in the end.
Okay. Cool beans. Okay, so what's the first thing come to your mind when you hear pain and pleasure?
This ain't for the camera what I think.
Oh wow. It's X-rated. Okay. Why everybody mind go to sex with pain and pleasure?
I mean,
Because that's just what it is, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Cut that.
Yeah, keep it rolling.
So you want me to ask the question again?
I gotta think of another answer. You should have told me this yesterday.
I wanted to be a spontaneous. I didn't want you to rehearse nothing.
Okay.
Right. Do you think about lunch? I mean, what you think about? What comes to your mind?
Life.
Yeah. Okay. Give me
Just because life is pain and pleasure.
That's absolutely correct.
Ups and downs. That's what I think about.
For sure. Well, thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
I love you.
Girl.
All right, guys. We have the amazing Ashley Rose. If you don't know her, you will know her. She's very well known in Nashville. She is, baby, the blueprint for modeling. Beautiful. And most importantly, she has a beautiful, beautiful heart and a beautiful, beautiful spirit. Don't let the face fool you. But this my girl. Been rocking with her since, I don't know, was it 2016 when I first started recording? Well, not recording, but when I first came out with my boutique, which is K3 Lavish, she was my model. She was one of my models. So we've been rocking tough. She's busy, but we always pick up the pieces wherever we left off. We share a similar story as well. The connections are amazing with this young lady, so I want to introduce you guys to the amazing Ashley Rose. Hey, boo.
Hey, how are you?
All right. So my question for you, being in the position that you are in, is it hard to find a husband? How difficult has it been to find a good man that values you, that loves you and appreciates you the way that you want to?
That's a really, really good question. I wouldn't necessarily say it's related to what I do. It could very well be, and I maybe not realize it. Oftentimes, I struggle with relationships. I push people away because of being valid at age 11 myself. So with that, I have a lot of reservations when it comes to guys. I have major trust issues. I don't trust anybody. So that's one thing that's one of my biggest fears when it comes to dating. Usually mentally I go into the situation already assuming that I cannot trust the person. And that's where my downfall is. That's what my biggest struggle is when it comes to relationships. So pretty much anything that takes place or anything that occurs, I'm already like, I'm already kind of iffy on it, uneasy about it. So I always back away. Even whether they're, is a good guy, it can be a bad guy, they could be broken themselves. I always back away before it gets too bad. So instead of kind of toughing it out and fighting through the situation, I usually step away before it gets bad because I feel like that's me protecting myself. That's my defense mechanism. And
I'm glad you said that because I do the same. I used to feel like I push a lot of people away. But are we really pushing people away, or are we not finding the right person that has the patience with us? You run into a situation where you meet a guy and you've opened up, you passed the trust. It still is hard.
Yeah. It is.
It's so hard. So I just want to know, what do you do when you get in that mix of, okay, I trust you, but I really don't trust you. You know what I mean? Because we get there. Sexual assault victims tend to be like that.
Yeah.
Even with our closest family members, we're just like that.
Yeah.
So like, and I'm asking this for myself too. What do we do?
I don't know. That's a really good question. I really, you guys mentioned earlier about self-love.
Okay.
So I want to piggyback on that.
Okay.
So I feel like self-love is so important. I feel like when you value yourself and you know your worth, then you know who to allow to come into your space.
That's true.
So you take the time out to get to know that person instead of giving yourself to that person early on and then trying to force something that's not there. You when you love yourself and you know your worth, you take the time to, okay, let me get to know this person. Let me see kind of where they are in life. Let me see if we can have that true bond and that connection. And then I can decipher from there if I want to go forward with you, or I can step away and I can still be okay, rather than creating that soul tie. And I'm still broken.
Woo, speak now. Wait a minute. Because that's one of my things, moving way too fast.
Absolutely.
Moving off emotions and not moving off reality.
Yes.
Wow.
And we do that. We tend to do that a lot. It's so easy to do. You meet somebody, you feel like, oh, they're attractive, and we know most things always start out good.
Yeah,
They're gonna say the right things. You know, they're gonna date you and wine and dine you. And I think one thing that us women make a mistake doing, too early on, we tell them what our likes and dislikes are. Instead of allowing them to show us who they are, we give them the green light. It's like, hey, this is what I want. This is, like you said, the blueprint. This is what I want. This is what I like. So that's what they give us early on, just enough to suck us in. And then once they've got us, then it's like it all falls apart because they're not that person. That's not truly who they are. So we don't allow people to show us who they are. We tell them who we want them to be.
Wow. Thanks, girl. Oh, wow. We're going to have to put you in another show.
Oh, okay.
All right. So, the question I asked everybody else, when you first think about pain and pleasure, what do you think about?
I'm pretty much along the same lines as everybody else, but I'm going to be 100% honest. When I think about pain and pleasure, I just think about whips and chains. I'm sorry. I'm just being honest. I just think about whips and chains and your leather pants, you know.
Baby, wait a minute now.
All I can think about is a leather whip to go with these pants. That's all I can think about.
I love
Do we need to cut that out?
No. Do not cut that out. No. Okay.
I'm like, that's all I can think about.
Well, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you
what
so
your
much for
friendship
having
means to me.
I appreciate it. I love you so very much. You have an amazing spirit yourself.
Yay.
And I'm so glad to have met someone who has a very similar story and similar background as myself, because it allows me to open up and to work through what I deal with as well.
Yeah.
So thank you.
You're welcome, love.
I love you more. Yes.
All right. Okay. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I really hope that you laughed. You might have cried. And I really hope that you got something from this show. At the end of my shows, I always want to end everything on a positive note. So I do want to highlight that we have a new president. And the first black VP in the house. So that is amazing. Thank you so much for tuning in to Pain and Pleasure. And don't forget to subscribe. It only gets better from here, and you're going to miss out if you're not subscribed. So once again, I appreciate all you guys for tuning in. Peace and blessings. And remember, what's understood don't have to be explained. You do not have the right to remain silent in your pain.